Hi, Curtis here, creator of Amassed Avenger, The Invincible Man and the Quitters. I'm going to try something new, or newish. I'm going to try and make a 3D model out of my 2D character. So, I've already got it loaded up in Blender here. Some reference photos of the front and side views, and then a bit of a 3/4. So it's a little bit different than the normal Matt you're used to. His eyes probably won't be a circular in the end, but yeah, just a little bit different. I've got everything loaded. I've got my first plane loaded. So I'm ready to basically start modeling the character, I guess. So I have a mirror modifier on. So I'm just going to start here. I have a bit of a reference I'm looking at for as far as how to do edge loops and stuff like that. So extrude. There we go. And yeah, so I'm going to reference that while I'm working. I do know some basics in Blender, just not a lot with modeling. So looks like they start extruding this around right away. And then I counted to 10 extrudes, so I'm just going to estimate, where they're going with that. I could probably sculpt this from a brick, but I'm not bold enough yet to try sculpting. Oops. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned, just build it from scratch kind of thing. So it goes up, and then one about the middle. So, oops. Don't want too many of those ghost vertices kicking around. So I always start pretty much every drawing I can with the eyes. If you don't nail the eyes, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. So we'll see how far I can get today. I probably won't be that fast because I'm kind of new at this. So trying it for the first time, really making a go at making a character. I tried briefly to try one, but the 3D space just got too complicated for me. And one of my Patreon supporters, Jason, not my brother, a different Jason, suggested I should try 3D. So I was like, hey, why not? Might as well give it a shot. If I'm doing this full time anyway, you know, it takes a little bit more time to create a character, but I might have a better quality product in the end. So so we'll see how it goes. So this is just a test to see if it works, and then the plan would be to make a short animation with the character if it all works out okay. So I'm just using a reference so that my topology is good with edge loops and stuff like that. After talking to my brother Jason for so many years about this, I do know some stuff about modeling. There we go. So we got that loop. So if I extrude just that vertice on what axis? Z? There we go, perfect. So I'm using a mirror modifier, just saves on workload. And then what I'll do is once I kind of get some basic stuff here, I'm going to go into the side view. Right now I'm probably way out of whack for where stuff should be. So maybe I'll start lining some of that up now so it doesn't get too overwhelming. So let's see. These verts should be pretty close to the eye. So I think that one should be. Oh no, it's not even close at all. Okay, so grab X. Nope. Grab Y. Still getting used to the coordinate system, to be honest. So this will be a bit tedious, but give it a shot here. 3. Grab Y. And I can hear people screaming at me trying to say, there's easier ways to do this. But this is what I know currently. I'll have to definitely watch some more tutorials on how to do this properly, you guys. I watched 2 tutorials today. Oops. I watched 2 tutorials today. That means I'm a pro, I guess. So after 2 tutorials, I'm pro enough to to do this. The tutorial actually used sculpting, which probably would be a lot quicker. But again, I'm still kind of new at this, so I'm just going to go with what I know. And it looks like, based on my brother's work, that you have to do retopo in the end anyway. So my thought was, why sculpt something and then retopo it when I could just do the topology properly right off the hop, and then just move stuff around. Then was kind of my thought. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't work. We'll see, I guess. So, not a big fan of rework and doing things twice where you could get away with doing them once. But that's just me. Maybe some people don't mind sculpting and then redoing their work. Me, I'm like, try to be as efficient as possible if I can think of a way to be more efficient. And if I do more 3D models, I'm sure like people can tell me that sculpting is probably way more efficient in the long run. But for what I know how to do currently, I've never sculpted in 3D yet. So I did a little bit of edge loop kind of work before. So yeah, that's kind of where his eye will be. Definitely going to change the shape of it. I don't like that it's just like a solid oval. I want to make it a little bit more kind of almond shape. So let's take this vert. Let's take these two verts. So yeah, sculpting one bird at a time is probably the least efficient way to do it. But again, it's all I knows. But at least once I get everything in place, then maybe I can go in and sculpt a little bit more. You gotta do what you know. So some of this stuff I'm just guessing on. So there's probably a bit of a ridge there. Yeah, it's easy to design a 2D character, but then the question becomes, how well does that character work in 3D, right? And that's really the challenge of 3D modeling, I would say, is definitely finding that, how does it work? Yeah. Okay, so those are the cheekbone kind of verts, including not that one. So that'll be kind of the bridge of the nose, looks like. So yeah, this should be immediately around the eye. Grab the eye. And I'll probably have to add some loops in there and stuff like that to define stuff a little bit more. So it's looking okay so far. And then I want to build up until there, looks like, and then I want to start making edge loops. Go up and then do a big edge loop, kind of looping around before I get to there. So let's extrude this, I think on the Z. So that was kind of the eye socket. This will be more kind of middle of the forehead, and then extrude Z. So let's extrude this. Extrude Z. There we go. By Z, I pressed Y by accident. Face. Okay, so this one's gonna loop around now. So I'll have to extrude just some verts here, and again, there's probably more efficient ways to do this as I learn modeling in Facebook, as opposed to what I do. probably get quicker at this kind of stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not planning on doing a very high poly character. I'm just hoping to do relatively low poly, keep it as simple as possible, because I want to try. I have really ambitious plans, maybe some might say too ambitious for my lack of experience. But the goal is to model Matt here, put materials on him, rig him, and then make a short, maybe 2-minute animation with him, just to kind of test camera stuff. I haven't really worked in 3D space with a camera before. And then the goal will be, if that works out well, to make a feature-length film with him. Because I'm planning on doing that anyway. As far as long-term goals, it'd be kind of cool to try it in 3D. And then probably keep the backgrounds and stuff quite simple, and then kind of go from there. So I think I might be able to do the film with less than 10 characters, or less than 15. So if I model on the weekends, if I create models on the weekends, then I might be able to do that. So I think I'm just going to keep building upward for now. Kind of leave the nose, since it's extrude Z. So I'm going to say this is going to be where his hairline is, this vert. So he's just slightly off center. Oops. Extrude Z. Ooh. Alright. The first thing. So let's delete that edge. Oops, undo. Let's delete that edge. Let's delete that edge. There we go. Meant to extrude the vertex there, but I hit face. Still getting used to some of the commands. So this one will kind of go like that. Face. And it looks like it comes by his temple. So so yeah, I'm not sure how long I'll go. It's 8 o'clock here our time, so we'll see how she goes. So it looks like this goes kind of the temple side here. I didn't want to just sculpt him and have vertices kind of everywhere and stuff not working, just because I do want to animate him, so I can't just do it the cheap way kind of thing and just cheat or whatever. So I gotta actually do this properly. So this is why I'm doing edge loops around like this and trying to keep my geometry as good as I can. So this one kind of actually goes kind of straight down and is the bottom of the chin actually, or kind of. So it's one away from the ear. So is that, yeah. So I'm going to try follow my reference as close as I can. So that'll be the one that edge loop goes down. So the edge loop I was doing. So this one is the ear, I'm going to say. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, it looks like... Okay, let's try something different here. So that loop goes there, 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 then connects to there. Okay. Let's delete these vertices. Okay, so goes across. And then there's a vert. Okay, so let's delete those two vertices. Okay, so this one goes there and then it meets there. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so that's that edge loop. And then that one comes. So extrude Z. So that one comes like that. And then there we go. This 2D stuff's pretty easy, to be honest. Actually, let's delete that. Where is he? This one probably actually goes kind of higher up on the head than this. Oops. Grab Z. So this one probably comes up near the top of the skull. And then it looks like the next one is the top of the skull. So that is a very high. GG. Okay. So we're going to try that now. I don't know, I'm not like a pro on topology, but I can tell by looking at this one I have for reference that looks pretty solid. There's not a lot of n-gons or five-sided verts or five-sided faces. And it's relatively low poly. So this one will go here. See, I wish I could just make this 2D like this. It's really simple. So this one will be just shy of the ear. And then I'll have one for the ear after that. So this one will actually continue down after this one. So after this face, this one will actually continue straight down. Like this. And like this. And then that one will go kind of to the bottom of the chin. So it'll meet up somewhere there. So that's good. Okay, let's start doing some side view stuff so we kind of keep on track here a little bit. So I think I'll do some front view stuff and then some side view stuff and just switch back and forth. So grab Y. Grab. That sucks. There we go. I guess it doesn't move along that axis, right? Okay. That's good to know. That one's perfect. This one has to come way back. So grab. That's gonna come. Oh, not very far back. Okay. So yeah, and then this one, the bottom here. Yeah, I made this reference stuff, I want to say, like a couple years ago. Okay, so this vert let's start with. This is near the, just in front of the ear. That's going way back. So that's coming, yeah, way back here, almost by his sideburn. I hope with time that I'd get a little bit more fluid at this and be able to sculpt or something like that. But right now it feels a little stiff and mechanical, that's for sure. So these ones kind of have to actually, yeah, curve a little bit. So grab Y. I'm just working off a 3/4 view is all I got for reference, so kind of see how that goes. Feels like I'm getting bold in my old age trying to do something crazy like this, but so we're starting to get a little bit of shape to the head now. Kind of like starting from the bottom, actually. Okay. Yeah, this isn't the just have a little bit of fun with it kind of way, but hopefully it'll work for me for now. Probably get my brother to give me some tips. He's been 3D modeling for feels like 100 years. So that vert's really sticking out. I'll definitely have to bring this one up. It's definitely too low. And this one probably has to come a little higher. And then I just want to kind of, oh shoot, where's that one grabbing from? Grab. So, that's hitting F instead of E. Not that the buttons are close together, but that. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then he's got some funny cheekbone ones here going on. So, let's bring that where it should be, maybe. Something like that. I definitely respect 3D modeling as an art form, but just my head never really seemed to kind of get around 3D spaces that well. And I never really did the clay thing growing up or even wanted to. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, kind of head shaped. So what I'll do is I'll do one more row of or one more edge loop. And then to get to the top of the head here. And then I'm going to probably start on more of the bottom of the face. I feel very calm doing this, so we're trying something so new. So they kind of flare out a little actually, so this could actually probably come along here. And then this could probably go more like that. I don't want to fix too much topology yet, because there's definitely going to be some major changes happening once I kind of get going here. Yeah, it's a lot less stressful, I would say, than inking a character, because inking, you got to nail that line. Even on computer, it can take multiple tries to really nail a line. So this is almost, yeah, just along the side of his head. So yeah, inking is probably the most stressful thing for me when it comes to art, and especially if it's on paper. I know there's whiteout and stuff like that exists, but man, it can be stressful. Just to really nail that line. Here it's like, yeah, you can just bump the line over kind of thing if you want. Okay, so this is, I don't want to go totally that height because it's going to be a little bit lower because that's his hairline. I think I'm going to do the hairline as a separate object because the plan is, where is that vertice? Oh, you know what? I actually have to move this image back. It's actually cropping. Going. It's actually grab Z. Nope. Grab Y. There we go. Yeah. Let's go one back. Sure. Okay. That's why that vertice was fading away. And there we go. So, yeah. So this one comes along his ear. Kind of like that face. That looks good. Okay, now I think I'll do the one along his chin, even though it's maybe not the... I don't want to tackle his nose yet. That's definitely more complicated than I want to get right now. So I'm trying to think, what do I want to do here? I think if I go down along his chin, and then I go down along the chin and then come up to the mouth and then start doing the edge loops around the mouth. I think that's what I want to do. So from that weird one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so. So from here, whoops, it is 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to extrude this one all the way down to the bottom. Then what I'll do, there we go, yep. And then I think I'll just delete that edge. Oh, I could actually subdivide maybe. W. There we go. So that'll give me a vert slide that down, and then I think what I'll do is I'll delete that edge for now so it doesn't mess me up later. Perfect. Now let's approximate where these vertices are. So I want these a little bit closer, extrude up. So there's kind of a I know ideally I want to get good enough at this if I'm going to do this to be able to do this on my own, but right now I definitely need a tutorial. So that one was from there, 1, 2, and then that one goes. Yeah, ideally you want to be able to work without reference in the long run. I think with any art. So this one's got to come way down here. It almost looks like he's wearing his Masked Avenger mask. It's kind of cool. So extrude. There we go. So, oh yeah, I could just extrude this one up. There we go. Extrude. Face. I think I remember my brother when he was kind of newer at this. This is kind of how he made his models. So that's that face. And then we're going to run. So that's that loop. Just trying to think in my head where this goes. Okay. So that's that square. So this should be a bit lower, according to my reference. So that's a square. And the weird corner one should have an edge loop running this way. Oops. I like that, and then the edge loop runs kind of into his nose. I don't want to get too, strict on myself with this. So we'll go up to the corner one. Okay. And then this loop that I'm going to make will go this little section. So kind of where his mouth divots. And that loop's going to go around to the bottom of his nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are pretty straightforward. And then I think once I finish this loop, face, I'm going to start going around. Face. There we go. Don't hit F too many times. So 1, 2, 3, and then there should be one more face. This is kind of like at the side of his mouth. Because he's so stylized, he has a bit of a different shape than theirs. And then this one. Okay. So this loop essentially, continues around. Extrude. Extrude. This loop continues like this around to the bottom of his nose. So, oops. So grab, this one should come here. Okay. And we need to figure out what's going on here. So that one runs under, and then this one will run under as well. Face. Oops. Face. And extrude. This one kind of runs on the cheekbone. That loop comes straight down. So that's how that one works. And then there should be a loop going here. And then that loop runs also into the nostrils. Okay. So that's that loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Extrude. Extrude. And then extrude. Then we're going to extrude this one on the Z for now. And this one runs directly under the nose. And then this one runs. So this is basically the bottom of the nose loop, let's call it. So this one should run in the middle of the lip. So hopefully this is all going to make sense in the end, and I did my math right. So far it's working out okay. Should probably save. Yeah, for streaming and recording. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just need to extrude one there and that should work. I would say the things that are kind of the most intimidating, I think, is inside of the mouth, actually. Seems kind of like the most intimidating thing right now, at least. Okay, so this one's just outside the mouth. So if we figure his mouth, and it's kind of like the bottom of the, so let's kind of get those verts. So that'll be, this is literally the corner of the mouth. And this one, that's the corner. So let's move these over. Move those in a little bit. And let's move these just a little bit over. And I think this one will be the one that runs along the nose, but isn't the nose. And then, yeah, we'll just slide these over a little bit. Straighten this out. Yeah, I'll have to go through and kind of clean some of this up after. So it's looking pretty sharp from the front view. Probably looks awful from the side because I haven't adjusted verts yet. Okay. So, scary time side view. That looks awful. Okay, so let's start with this one, if I can even see it. I'd say this has been quite enjoyable and not as stressful as I thought it would be. Sounds kind of awful, but it's kind of a little intimidated trying this out, to be honest. So, and I won't be able to see that one terribly well. Kind of see where it ends up. So yeah, I might have to adjust the height on some of those, because that one should be coming in if I grab and go on the Z-axis, it should be actually technically there. So yeah, so some of these will have to move. This one will obviously have to kind of be that vert, be right there. Yeah, not too bad. Okay. Let's start with maybe the outside of the head and then kind of work our way in. The cheekbones is kind of a scary place to make right, make it look right. For some reason, oh yeah, because there. So that came in way too high. Let's actually start with this one. Might be the easiest. Oops. Grab Y. Because that is literally that point. And then it should go, by the looks of things, almost just straight up the head from here. So yeah, his head, I think I might have to move the back of the head a little bit. So it's a little bit bigger. It looks a little front heavy, if I'm honest. And I might change up the hair a little bit. So yeah, that should kind of go there. And this should technically probably come up more here. And was this the hairline one? Yeah. There is a, I didn't think of it till now. Okay, so that looks, I'd say the skull looks pretty good. Nice and round. Pretty low poly, I would say, generally speaking. Especially compared to like stuff my brother's doing. Oh, okay. So he's got an inverted. Yeah. So this is his jawline here, essentially. So that will be, yeah, way over here. It's gonna come way back there. Okay, so let's do this part first. Is that the most one? So this is kind of around his mouth. Yeah, I should also say that this is my first time using Blender 2.8. Felt like one of those people who doesn't want to get with the times, but I'm right in the middle of a big project, and so I can't just switch. I'd have to reload a lot of my textures and stuff like that for my 2D if I made this switch. So, you know, unfortunately I can't make the switch yet. So hopefully coming soon, I'll be, or once I'm done that project, I'll be able to make the switch to 2.8 for everything. But it's going to involve reloading a lot of textures on all my characters, which it's not hard work. It's just that it's time consuming. And yeah, like I said, I've already done that once for all these characters that I've made. I changed my file tree formatting or during the film, so yeah, that wasn't a pleasant experience having to rename everything. So try avoid doing that again in the middle of the film. I can just imagine if one day this video goes viral or something, and the people just screaming at me with how slow I'm going and all that kind of stuff. There's more efficient ways, and I'm sure in the future I'll be like, You should have done it like this. But, like I said, still new to this whole 3D thing. And just want to make sure. Okay, so he's got a very inverted cheekbone. So this vert really needs to pop. This is one of the big ones. So this is cheekbone. So that means it's technically got to go past this one. And there's still one vert way back there. So I think cheekbone almost can come past a little bit. So, oh, there's one more tucked way back there. That's why it looks funny. And this is technically cheekbone too, so probably something like that. Okay, so these are also kind of cheekbones. So the only thing with Apple that's a little tough just in Blender in general, I could probably turn it off, but it doesn't have a mouse wheel, the Apple mouse. It's just like you touch the mouse in the right spot and it kind of scrolls. So I find myself accidentally scrolling a lot in Blender, and what that does is it rotates the view. To be honest, it's a little bit annoying, especially when I'm working in 3D and stuff also spins and you don't notice right away. But so far it's been okay, I guess. Okay, so that's like a bit of a cheekbone. I really want to work in the eye shape. I want to really nail the eyes, like I said, on the character. So, okay, this hurts way out of place. I feel like I'm making okay time. Stream's only been 45 minutes. Almost got a face without a nose. Definitely have to go in and add some details on the... Okay, so what I should probably do is do the jaw. It's kind of fun to actually spin around the character in 3D, I should say. Having only done 2D, really. Don't really get to spin around the characters like this. It looks kind of dumb. The images tend to separate. I think this should go like that. Nice and smooth like. Start defining this jawline a little bit here. Then I think, let's see here. Yeah. So let's say that one. And then what we'll do is we'll extrude it, and we'll make this one the jawline. And then we'll kind of figure out the rest after. So we'll finish out that, and then that one we'll kind of figure out where that's going. There's the odd thing on this model that doesn't quite make sense. There's not a lot of end guns, but there's some funky shaped quads on there. But we'll see. Just want to space these out as evenly as possible for now. It's not going to be perfect, but so let's go and zoom out a little bit. And let's unhide. So let's go object. I mean, cheekbone's a little sharp. Divot's a little bit too much by the mouth there. And there's some messy stuff going on here. Looks like flip normals or this weird face here. I'll have to figure that out. So, kind of looks like a skull, or what a human should look like. The only thing is I don't really have the back of the head to go off of, so kind of have to just make that up as I go along, I guess. I guess I could do one more edge loop, just kind of keep it consistent. Do you really look at the back of a character's head? Who knows? Okay, what's messed up here, though? Is there like a second vert or something? Nope. So this one is really messed up. Doesn't... Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on there. Trying to see if there's a doubled up vert or something, but can't quite tell. Who knows? Okay, so let's attempt a nose. So it's just going to be loop after loop here. So this one can actually come up a fair bit. So I have that made. So I need about five, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this corner here sticks out like this and goes up and down, or whatever you call it. And it extrudes downward. Yeah, this definitely wasn't how the tutorial said to do it. It was really very much a sculpt based. Sculpt based tutorial, but I don't know, I learned some stuff on there, I would say. And if I... What? So I want that line running straight up. So let's do that one. So extrude 1, 2. So you want a line running kind of straight up, it looks like. And then you want one line running into here, and that's where you'll have there. Draw that face, see if that works. And then extrude one more. Just see if the math works here. So 4. Let's try to do that one face. If I go there, should work. So typically, I guess the thing you want to avoid is n-gons or poles where there's this 5-sided face, or where there's 5 lines intersecting on one pole. So we've done the entire mesh except for the mouth, and no poles, so it's not too bad for first time out. And using a 3/4 view as my reference. We're getting close to an hour. So I'd like to maybe get this and then the mouth done for sure today. I don't know if I'll do the back of the head, we'll see. And I guess there's the ear too. Oh, this one's way out there. Way out to lunch. There we go. And this one is 2. This one's kind of really tucked behind. 3. Number 1. X. I really gotta get used to the coordinate system. Don't really do coordinates a lot in my 2D art, so. Yeah, Blender 2.8 is actually not that bad. I kind of plunked around with it for about 5 minutes before I started, so I kind of knew everything was. But a lot of these tools I don't actually use. I literally never use Subdivide. I pretty much use import images as planes, and then from there I essentially just animate. Like in Blender itself, my animations are literally, I think, the simplest thing you can do. So I kind of wanted that nose that goes up a little bit. I really like those kind of noses. Where it kind of goes like that. No. Like it kind of goes up, right? And then, yeah. That's kind of cool. Ooh, that hurts. Really tucked in there. Oops. So let's move that one out. So he's got actually a bridge on his nose. He's got an inverted nose. Okay, so this is going to be kind of the strip here in the middle. So 3. So it's almost got to be flat. That's another thing why I probably couldn't do like realistic 3D models. Because I actually know very little about anatomy. But stylized cartoons, it's good to learn anatomy so you know what to stylize, I guess. But stylized is a bit more forgiving. I think the key thing with stylized is that you want it to look aesthetically pleasing. So, yeah. I think that's kind of the key. So as long as it kind of looks good. Oops. I think that's really what matters. I mean, for anything, I guess. It can be wrong, but look good. Okay, so it looks like on the thing I have here, it stays pretty close. So I gotta figure out what's the nostrils here. It looks like they have a few more edge loops than I do. So this was supposed to be the bottom of the nose. So this one really this one should almost be right over the other one. And then this one should be right over there, but I think lower. That should be kind of like his nostril. Yeah. And this one can come down lower. So that'll be the nostril, I think. Oops. So that'll make up the nostril. I guess I can add edge loops if I need in there. I speak as if I know what I'm talking about. I'll have to figure out the shortcut for edge loops. Oops, those are really in still. Okay, so that's the nostril. So I wish I could almost like set a little bit of a transparency on the background. Kind of still see it, but many things I don't know about Blender and how to do it. I wanted to kind of come into this too with an open mind on how I design the character, where I'm not beholden to my artwork and just really do what looks good in reality. So, no, that's got to stay close to there. I can always add an edge loop in, because this is the nostril. So, and this will come down. So that is the nostril. I have to, so it should almost, really, when you think about it, can actually come out past those verts. Kind of past them, right? Okay. We are going to add edge loop. Let's see if we can figure this out. Come on, shortcut. Cut loop. Oh. Oh, it kind of outlines it for you. Sure. That is fancy. Wow, you 3D guys are spoiled. Okay. So these verts will be the ones that are over or past those ones. Because there's that little dent on the inside. Nope. So they've got a, yeah, and then these ones. They really have to be, that's probably like the divot here. These ones need to be, that's kind of more in the middle. So they need to be out and past, but kind of in the middle, I would say. And then I'm not sure if I'll give him nostrils. And these ones also, how does the nose work? Kind of comes in, I guess, but oh, this one's actually kind of more like the front of the nose, right? So, same with this one. Gonna make it look a little flatter. And then what happens with the nose? Just kind of like a nice arc here, looks like. I hope that's kind of looking okay. And then I'm going to bring this loop in a little bit tighter on the face. Just a little bit. Where's this one? I guess I could make, you're just kind of looping around there. So if this one's the indent, bottom of the lip. So extrude Z. So that's going to be the bottom of the lip. Extrude, extrude. And then this will be the top of the lip elsewhere. Let's edge. Okay. Smooth that back. So I'd say he's almost looking like a 3D model. I thought I would almost be able to get like, maybe a little too ambitious, but like the body done today too. That being said, I think the body will just fly because he's pretty much tubes as far as art style goes. Oops. Weird face. So the thing with him is he has a very small this thing, and then he's got a bigger underlip and a chin too. So it'd probably be if this would be the top of his lip. So the top of his lip, and then that'll be kind of the inside. And then this will be the middle of the lip face. It's going to be the middle of the lip. I think every time I'm hitting escape, it's keeping that doubled up vertice. So I think I gotta make sure I'm hitting undo or whatever. So let's say that's the middle of his lip. Face. So, and then I think what I want to do is just bring this in a little bit tighter. Bring these a little bit further over too. So this has been quite the experience. I think for the backgrounds, I'd almost just make stuff look boxy and not low poly, but just create the geometry and put materials on it. I wonder too if I can really keep the so it's the middle of the lip, and now it'd be kind of the top of the lip. And then I think that's when it starts kind of going inside the mouth, so we'll leave that till later. Extrude Z. So this is extrude. It's getting hard to see with these little faces. Yeah, this is by no means a tutorial, that's for sure. Please don't do what I'm doing. I just remember the last time I tried a 3D model, I really didn't quite understand it. I have years more of listening to my brother talk about this. But I was also trying to create something quite high poly, and just with the amount of verts and polys I had, it was just racked my brain. I couldn't really grasp it, but I determined to make this I wouldn't say as low poly as possible, but I mean I'm hoping this is kind of all the polys I really need. So I'll have to kind of figure out what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this one was the middle of the lip, so this one needs to come down. Nope. Grab down. Oh shoot. Ah. There we go. definitely going to have to do, I think there's a function called remove doubles. So that's the bottom of the lip. Bottom. So it's way too high. So let's move this way down. And this. Okay. So let's just try. So bottom of the lip. And then grab that. Grab. There we go. And it should be slight curve, but so as I get more comfortable with 3D, I'm sure I'll figure out the more efficient methods to do it. But I think today I'm kind of fine with sticking with this. So let's move this one way back. So let's say his smile goes till there. So I think his smile might actually, that's this point. So let's go a little further back with some of this stuff. There we go. And then this is kind of the middle of the lip. This is actually a bit of a cheekbone. This is what's off. This should be more like that. Kind of promote it. I mean, that's looking far better. And then this one can probably come. It's kind of funny. It'll look good in one view, and then the next view you're like, oh, it looks awful. Like that can come way forward, but it doesn't feel like it should. So all of this will have to come like way forward. Cheekbone, kind of. That one looks a little off. I'm just wondering why it doesn't stay in orthographic. There we go. Just stay in orthographic. There we go. I can't figure out why it's constantly shifting out of orthographic view and whatever. I don't want too much perspective on it because I'm zoomed in so close. Yeah, I think once I maybe get the head, maybe I'll block out the ear or something like that. Really don't know what I'm doing because I'm not doing a detailed ear like they have. Okay, so this is actually the top of the lip. So I need to keep this a little bit tighter. This is actually the lip line. So I have to keep that in mind. So this one will be, oops, right here, let's see. And this one sticks out. This one's kind of the top of the lip. Yep. And you want that rounded a little bit. The only character I wasn't really happy with when I made these 3D kind of versions of them was Cassie. She looked really funny. I wish I had a picture handy to show you, but man, just not happy with that design. That being said, before that, I think I've literally drawn like, that was Cassie was like the first girl I really ever drew. I never really drew girls growing up, so it was always just superheroes or weird things like that. But so drawing a girl was difficult, and then so trying to translate like a side view and stuff like that, I just didn't quite have the maybe the proper understanding of how to do that. So she looks really funny, but it might look better if she was colored, but the inks look awful. So these verts, they really are squished, I would say. Just from a logical standpoint, it's really the corner of the mouth, so they should really be very close together. Yeah. It's not that I don't know anything about anatomy or whatever. I've been drawing for most of my life. But that doesn't mean certain aspects I excel at. For the longest time, I drew 4 abs. I didn't know there was like more than that. So when my brother found out just a few years ago, he let me know. He's like, hey, people have more abs than 4. So, with that being said, I never really did anatomy studies. Okay, so that one vert looks really off. Wonder why. Looks so funny. Now, the other thing is, this is all... I don't know why it's not shading smooth. Let's try do this. Let's try go there. Shade smooth. Ah, there we go. Back to... Okay, so looks like I have a head, kind of. Let's go back to object mode and let's unselect. Select all. How do you unselect all? Okay, so I have some weird kind of stuff, almost like the normals are flipped or something. Okay, so it looks kind of funny. And there's no subsurface, whatever, subsurf, the way it's called. So I'm not even sure how to apply that. So yeah, I would say, so that stands out a little bit. It's a bit of a, I don't know how to get there. The forehead line, I would say the profile looks good. I'd say the mouth, if you can look through all these weird deformities, looks pretty good. Okay. I would like to do... I think I'd like to try finish the head today. What are we at? Hour 19 minutes. So, let's see. To go halfway to, let's say 3, 4 verts or so. Let's just try and make it look like... So that one will, yeah, run along the ear. That one's gonna come straight down. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So this one we're gonna grab and we're just gonna move it to the bottom of the ear. And then we'll move this to the bottom of the ear. And then that'll be the ear extrusion. Did I do that right? So, well, let's just start making faces, see what turns out. Face. See, that one's a little darker, so I think I'll have to ask my brother a little bit. Oh, I guess I have a light shading on it, shining on it. And there's materials applied. So I'm actually getting some lighting now. So now we're going the opposite way. So this one would be the equivalent of, that's that face, that's kind of this face. So it should be about down here. But we're gonna, what we're gonna do is make the head a little bit extrude, 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 extrude. Not sure why that didn't make a face. Oh. Okay. Three. So this word. Oh, I think every time I'm like swiping sideways, it's changing stuff. Okay, so now command 1. I think that's the back of the head, but forget to hide. So this is the back. Right. So that vert has to stay where it is. So command 3. Command 3. Command 1. There we go. That vert has to move. Grab X. I did check out some of the shortcuts before I started today, just so I wasn't totally at a loss. Don't want to be Googling in the middle of a live stream. So I'm not sure. Let's delete that face. No, let's delete that edge. There we go. A couple more. That being said, the tutorial I watched in about an hour, he really didn't get much further than me. So I figure I'm actually keeping pretty good pace for being new to this, being an hour and 20 minutes in. I feel like I'm going at a good pace. There we go. Now if I go 3. Perfect. So that's the equivalent of that loop. No, yeah, that. So this one, extrude. So that and that one, that and that one. So this should be kind of down here already. Yeah. This one could probably come a little bit further down, actually. If I'm honest. And then this stuff. At this point, I'm trying not to perfect the mesh too much because you're going to go back and probably reform a lot of it anyway. So I'm trying not to get too fussy over mesh. Just want to get the edge loops kind of right more than anything right now. So let's unhide these two again. Okay. So this almost comes straight down in the back of the head. And then if I extrude there, let's see, and extrude. Extrude, 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 extrude. I'm getting that same problem I just had. Oh yeah. Okay, so should just put a giant end gun on the back of his head. And then just never show it. There we go. So that's where I want the outside of the head to be. The inside. So, oh, really? I guess that can work for the back of the head. I didn't really think of that. I tuck this in a little bit more. Bring this out. Bring this out. Not really, actually. No end guns. Nothing. I'd say it definitely needs to come out this way more so it looks more like a ball. It really flattens. Yeah, I looked into just how to proportionally edit too. It's probably something that I'll take advantage of in the future. Just to move a bunch of verts at once, but right now I just really want to nail the edge loops out, I'd say, and just get the correct geometry to start. So if I go 3, this one could actually be, let's try and make the back of his head look actually around here. Yeah, these come down a little bit. And this can come down, actually form the back of his skull. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but it seemed to actually work. So that one they don't like. That's a weird little section. I think these could come back a little bit more. Oh, okay, so if I do the reverse of the front of the head, I kind of arc them that way. I think that would look nice. Just do the opposite of the back of the head, or the front of the head. So this one would be kind of like here, you'd arc it like this. The other thing I was thinking too is once I have a character, like how hard would it be to kind of just redo some of the topology essentially. So you have all the verts there, kind of roughly where they should be. Okay, losing this right here. So this one could probably come back. This one. So this should match up kind of with that one. So does that look round? I wonder if I would smooth it or something like that. If I would. And then what I would like to do, just so I don't forget, I'll have to add some edge loops and stuff like that. But I really want to nail the eye shape. I think if I go more like that, and bring this one up this way. Let's It's more the eye shape I'm looking for. Yeah, I'll have to get my brother in here maybe this week just to figure out what's happening with the nose. I believe it's just the normals that are flipped. Or something dumb like that. Or I have multiple verts on one. But it should be a pretty easy fix. Let's check the side view. Let's go in object mode. So I would say, generally speaking, the side view looks good. The back of the skull, if the ear is there, I think should be okay. The little jut on the chin here is just wrap the verts underneath there. Should I? Okay, so I've been at it for just over an hour and a half. So I got Jason on here. Hello. Edge loop cuts are important for the eyes and mouth and smooth out the animating. Faces are the ones that have hard time with. I've got to go to work. Have a good day. Thank you, Jason, for that. I got Joseph. Put a ball in the eye socket and you'll see if the eye shape is okay. Yeah, the tutorial I watched, he put the eye in and he kind of just made some minor adjustments. So I'm really hoping the eye shape will be okay. I'll probably do that next stream. The other thing I want to maybe just touch on was the ear a little bit. I'm just going to save. My file's probably getting like stupid big on my recording here. Nice to see you, Joseph. I don't know that I know you well yet. Trying to figure out who you might be. Or yeah, the eyebrow ridge will definitely have to come out a little bit. Although my characters don't, they have a little bit of an eyebrow ridge. So I think I could probably just adjust that a little bit. Just give him a little bit more of an eyebrow ridge. Just a little bit. I'll probably add some edge loops a little bit later once I kind of get the character. I'll probably start adding some details a little bit later. Just want to kind of get the edge loops, like make sure my yeah, he's actually got a fair bit of an eyebrow ridge. I would say probably this vert could come forward, and then I think probably this one could come up. And from the front view, it looks a little off actually. Probably grab that one and slide them over a little bit. So I'd say for the first time really trying a model and giving it an honest go, the back of the head's a little funny. I got this one vert here. It's kind of a odd shaped, so I'm not sure. I might have to delete that and go with a try maybe, or I might have to figure out something there that works a little bit better. No, you don't really want 3 in a row like that. And then it looks like a little bit under the skull here. This one needs to come out a fair bit. And then this vert needs to come out a little bit. So I'm kind of hoping all the edge loops will add up once I get to the body, and I'll be able to go down the neck nicely. So it kind of sucks that my title character is going to be the first one I work on. There's a lot of stuff you learn and probably do better. That one's really tucked in there. It's probably a lot of stuff you learn, you know, as you go or whatever, right? So I don't want to be one of those Blender artists that just endlessly spins around their own character. But that one comes in quite a bit. Oops. Yeah, my mouse keeps switching from orthographic to perspective, which is really annoying and disorienting. When I swipe sideways, it's not like a scroll mouse. I'd probably add an edge loop in here in reality. Like take that vert, But then I get a try still. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do, just so I know where it should come, is extrude. Just an ear. It looks like ass, but but at least he's got an ear now. So I kind of know where that's going. And then I'm going to model the hair and stuff after, so he's going to just stay a bald character for now. But I would say I've kind of successfully made a 3D model of a head. Very low poly. Some cleaning up I'll have to do. I like the eye shape, but like Joseph said, I'll have to get the eyeball in there. Yeah, I think I'll end the stream. Hour 45 minutes, pretty long run. So yeah, this was Matt. Again, if you look at my reference, this is kind of what I was going off of. Kind of that looking character. So I'll have to add some eyebrows. It looks like an eyeball. Define the ear a little bit. And yeah. So I'll have to do a little bit of tutorial watching just to get the ear the way I want it. And the eyebrow, I don't know if I make that a second object or not. Good mesh, good topology is important. Check some references and use all 3 views. Yeah, like the 3/4. I'll have to... He's kind of got a short head, especially when I drew him in 2D. I might end up stretching the head a little bit because it's very squished and then wide. Probably more than it should be, but... So yeah, check some references, use all 3 tools. So yeah, for the ear I'll definitely have to get some reference, but I'm going to keep it as simple as I can. I'm just going to indent it, give a little bit of this triangle here, and then just indent it a little bit, and then kind of just smooth it towards the back. Again, I'm going for a really simplistic style so that I can make as many cartoons as I can. It's kind of the goal. So... Thanks for the advice, though, Joseph and Jason. Appreciate it a lot. It's good to get some notes. Yeah, I'll just have to check about the faces, especially on the nose here. It's really deforming, and I don't know if you know, Joseph, why I'm getting those really sharp edges, if it's just flip normals or something like that. But, yeah, I tried to grab some random verts there, and it just... it just wasn't working. There's a little bit of an indent more than I'd like, and I can't figure out... Oh, it's this vert right here. So I couldn't figure out what's causing that slight indent on the cheekbone. It's just got to be a little bit rounder than that, and then this vert here. I kind of wanted the characters to be relatively smooth looking, kind of like Mario. They're not as basic as Mario, granted, but he's a pretty smooth looking character overall. So I wanted to kind of keep the geometry as simple as possible, so it's nice and smooth. I'll probably add like a smooth effect kind of closer to when I'm done. My brother said it's best to leave it as long as possible. So yeah, that's the really weird vert right there. I don't want to... I just really don't want to be like spinning around my character a million times, but I guess you kind of have to. Yeah, I'd say that's looking better. He doesn't really have a sharp cheekbone, so I'm thinking this vert could really come in a bit. Yeah. Yeah. For the first time, very good. Thank you very much for the compliment, Joseph. Appreciate it a lot. Really wide head. He'll have a bit of hair once I get there. Really wide head. Ears are about the right location. They're a little bit lower than the drawing. That should be okay. I could probably have extruded above the ear. Let's try that. Now I'm gonna save, just in case it doesn't do what I expect it to. So if I delete these verts, okay, so that worked out good. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extrude all 6 of these. It's a lot bigger than his ear actually is, but it's the right height. And I think then I'll just bring these verts up a little bit. Oops. Yeah. Like I said, my brother tried to do this character, and I would say it was a pretty good job. I would say it doesn't fully capture my style per se, but definitely has his own style to it. But that's the thing with art, right? Everyone's kind of got their own style when it comes to really any kind of art. And then if I keep these verts kind of a little bit closer, and then I'll do some... Oh, there we go. Just wonder how disoriented it is when I'm constantly changing camera angles. Maybe not welded or check the mesh smoothing. Oh, I never used Blender. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is a mesh smoothing option. I didn't really watch the tutorial close enough to see what the button was. I just don't want to do anything that I can't undo either. So I think I'll just leave it at that for tonight. He's got a bit of an ear. Let's see if it's way too far back. Yeah, might be a little bit too far back, but we'll see. But yeah, what do you use, Joseph? Oh, okay. Have a good one, Joseph. Yep. All right, so everything's roughly in shape. There's going to be a lot of going around and kind of screwing around and trying to perfect everything. But I would say for our first go at it, that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with the mesh. I'll have to add some edge loops once I start making the eyelids and around the eyes a little bit there. I'll have to kind of extrude it in and do that. And then the inside of the mouth, obviously, I'll have to do. But we'll figure out the eyeball thing, I think, next time. I'll try to do eyeballs and maybe the inside of the mouth. And then make sure I've done the nose right. Especially the nostril. So, all right, seize the day. Create something you're passionate about.